Oh, we're on another project. Here's my shifter and throttle cable. And water splashes up in here, gets the cable wet, and it gets salt water in it, it corrodes, they get sticking. They get to stick, and we had one of them break. So I'm going to change out throttle cables. So these are universal cables. They have a universal end on them. Some of them are different for depending on the manufacturer. But I wanted to show you something I did not know before I started. If you don't know what size cable you need, that is actually stamped right into the outer insulation of this. And this says 17 feet. I don't know if you can see that, 17 feet. So if you're looking for the size or what length yours in is, and typically they're about the same as far as where they stamp them is usually close to the ends. It's within 12 inches of the end of the cable. Now, and they usually have them on both ends, so there it is on the other end, 17 feet. Hey, so maybe that'll help you out finding out what length cable you need if you don't know. And you can pre-order them before you take them off. All right, we're on a Gemini 3200. It's a 1990. And our panel, you see that? This is our access panel. And just so you see, there's my throttle. And this on the inside. And there's the cables right there at the other ends. So we're going to disconnect them, and then we're going to pull them out, and we're going to pull the other ones in with it. So right on the end here, there's a cotter pin. Pull that out. That pops off. And we don't want to lose that. And we're going to stick that back. Let's grab that aside for now. And it's the same thing on the throttle and the shifter. So this is in our starboard stern berth, and this is a little access panel right here that gets in behind the steering, behind the helm, you know, right in front of the helm there, and gives us access to these cables and all of our electronics connections. Pull this out real quick, and this is where we're going to access our throttle cable and our shifting cable, and we're going to pull new ones out. I'll show you here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's one of them. Here's the other. Next, we got to get them all the way through here. First things first. We got 3 bolts. I got to take that one. That one right there, and there's one underneath here. Gotta get those out. Now we got that off. It allows us to get down to where the throttle cables and stuff hook up. I'm gonna take this cotter pin out, this cotter pin out. I'm gonna take out this bolt here. Yeah, so one of the things I've learned is to take off all this. Oh, I got lucky on that, didn't I? Is to take off all this hardware off the end of the cable. Because it will not slide. It hangs up on everything. Clip in there. So we strip them down where there's nothing on there. The same thing with the throttle. Try not to drop this one. All right, so my cables come in. They go through this clam cover here. And they come into my battery locker. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there. Right there. So we're gonna pull those out. I got Miss Kelly in the starboard berth, and she's gonna pull the other end. So all right, let's start with the orange one. All right, got it. Just lay it in there somewhere. We'll go back to the black one. Yep. All right. So now we just got to get it from here to there. What we're going to do on that is we're going to tie these to the end of our new ones to the end of the other ones. Going to tape them on, and we're going to pull them all the way through. These are universal cables, so they fit on both ends, are exactly the same. The cables may vary from boat to boat, so you have to check with the manufacturer of your boat or check on the manufacturer of your cables. Okay, so it's the same thing on this. You see how easy that slides. Just the same thing. It's got this hardware on. I'm gonna go ahead and take all that off so it doesn't hang up on anything as we're trying to pull it. So this is what works for me. I'm sure there's hundreds of ways of doing this. You can tie a string to it and pull it through and then use the string to pull back. But I'm trying to eliminate one step, and I'm just gonna tape this, pull that new cable through as I'm pulling the old cable out. So you pay particular attention to this. I try to go over that several times. That's where the end of that cable is, and it's gonna wind up snagging on something.
I'm gonna say your new light that you got.
Oh.
That's really gonna be cool.
You can see that light?
That's gonna be cool when we do our cave splunking.
All right, that's one. And we'll get this other one tied up on there. We're gonna pull one of these one at a time, and I'm gonna start with the orange. So when you get to this part, it's where you're gonna have to be tricky with it. Easy peasy. All right. So there you go, guys. That's not too hard. I'm going to work through the battery box back to the engine and then back to the helm. All I got to do is get this end of the cables back through. Hand that to me.
Can you? Yes.
Keep that in your hand. Twist it or something?
No, well, there's a bend in the bottom here. Yes.
So I'm feeding these through here. Feeding these through this hole. Through there also. Sorry about this. There's that. We got the cables ran. Now all we got to do is hook them up. Wish me luck. So I'm putting back on my rubber grommets, keep the dirt out of there. And it just goes through that little hole. Comes up. Goes in there and locks in that little groove. Right there. Locks in that groove. So we got our adjusting right on there. Slide it back in the groove. Put a cotter pack in. We'll put a cotter pin back in, and that's finished.